Hey folks, good morning. Another day, another 50 cents. Because, taxes and inflation and whatnot. I'm out and about. Just because I need to be. Got places to go, things to do, people to see. Not necessarily in that order. Anyway, I was thinking about people, and I was thinking about some of the discussions that I've been having, especially with friends. And the more I do that, the more philosophical I get, I guess. Because many people in the act of adherence to their belief systems, which I agree with, great, do so. Anyway, they reach out to me because they're in fear for me of the corruption of my soul. And I greatly appreciate that their love for me, their caring, would motivate them to reach out like that. And so I really appreciate it. It does, however, lead me back to Voltaire and a couple of things that Voltaire said that really kind of hit home for this kind of thing. And the first one I'll share with you ties right in, right? Voltaire says, "Think for yourselves and let others enjoy the privilege to do so as well." What does that mean? It means that inside of my own brain, I have to come up with the methodology for my existence. And wrapped up in that is, my political persuasion, the kinds of food that I want to eat, the kinds of ladies that I find attractive. Excuse me. Really everything, to include how I am going to move towards God. And like I said, there's been folks that have reached out to me from their belief systems and saying, "Oh, all you have to do, Tom, is accept Jesus Christ as your Savior, and that's all you need." Okay. Groovy. Others have reached out and said, Tom, you've really got to look to the latest interpretation of God and all of that stuff that came before is really kind of meaningless if you don't accept that current thing. Okay, all right, interesting. And yet others who have said to me, geez, Tom, you sure are wasting a lot of time. Because in reality, of course, God doesn't exist. But if you're having fun, have fun. Okay. And then, and yet others who are agnostic, who tell me, you know, Tom, no matter what you come up with, you're never going to reach the end of this thing anyway, so what's the difference? Whew, yeah. That one kind of, I'm more of an adherent of than the others, because I know that there is no end. I fully accept that. I will also add that I've fully accepted Christ as my Savior. I also believe that the manifestations of God come with their own sets of understanding to pass on to the world, and it's important to know those things and understand them. I agree, and I do. And lastly, man, all that stuff that's happened in the past creates who we are as human beings. And the more that I can aggregate, remember aggregation? Very, very important. So that I can reach the greatest level of understanding possible, the more enlightened I am going to be, and the more able I am to not only deal with everything going on in the world on a daily basis, but have a basis of knowledge that allows me to daily move closer to an understanding of God. So, Voltaire also said, to fully believe in God is impossible. Not to believe that God exists is absurd. Now, a lot of people will think that there's a dichotomy in what Voltaire is saying here. Let me read it again. To fully believe in God is impossible. Not to believe that God exists is absurd. Well, I can tell you what that says to me. It says to me that I'm never going to reach a point in my existence, and neither are you, and neither is any other human being out there going to reach a point where they, quote unquote, with Voltaire, fully believe in God. However, to think that God doesn't exist is absurd, because we are literally hardwired for belief. I'm looking for that quote that I had seen before. Where is it? Oh yes. Going back to Dostoevsky, it is not as a child that I believe in God. My hosannas are born from a furnace of doubt. Yeah. My hosannas are born from a furnace of doubt. Doesn't that really tie right in with what Voltaire is saying? To fully believe in God is impossible? Yeah. Again, there are people out there that, like the intro video, all right, where the monks are walking along. Elio just told me. Schwap! And they're hitting themselves in the head, smacking themselves in the head over and over and over again. And do you know why that they're doing that? They're doing that in some sort of effort in order to purge their doubt and fully believe in God. These things are impossible. They are impossible no matter how many times you whack your face on a board. Schwap! Schwap! It doesn't matter. You will still never get there. Now, there are those folks who push themselves, or at least try to, into that envelope of belief where their brain releases oxytocin and endorphins and adrenaline. But is that belief, or is that some kind of drug addiction? Think about that. Think about what Nietzsche said. And really think about what Marx said. All right? Religion is literally the opiate of the masses. Yes, it can be. And often it is treated as such. And as such, it becomes detrimental, and it stops you from achieving a fuller belief in God. All right? Not fully. You can't get to fully, as Voltaire is talking about here. But with each piece of knowledge that you acquire and aggregate into your methodology of being, the fuller the understanding that you can reach without having to whack yourself in the head or seek some methodology to release oxytocin, adrenaline, and endorphins inside of your brain in order to reach some kind of stupor. All right? let's go to the last thing that I had here for Voltaire today. Every man is guilty of all the good that he did not do. Let me read that again. Every man is guilty of the good that they did not do. It was interesting that somebody said to me, "Oh, don't engage with that. Don't do that thing. Those people don't deserve it." And I said, "What? What do you mean?" Well, if they don't care enough to do it themselves, then, to heck with them. That's their problem. Don't do it for them. And I was like, whoa. That's not good. That's not right. Who knows what they're facing or the things that are going on in their lives? If you have the opportunity to do good, then do that good thing. It's for your soul, not necessarily just for the benefit of those that you are doing it for. Whew. You are guilty of all the good things that you didn't do. Because, let's face it, the cosmos put you in the position and gave you the opportunity to positively impact someone else and do so maybe in a way that fulfills something inside of the entire cosmos itself. If you have the opportunity to do good, guess what? That has been put there specifically so that you can do good in order to have a positive impact on your own soul. All right. That's enough about Voltaire, and I'll just leave it at that. My friends, please like, share, and subscribe. Sharing is so important. And don't forget to comment down below so that we can have a discussion. All right? Thanks, folks.